What's up, everybody? We're talking about the doom and gloom. Is the whole entire world burning down? The market is crashing. What is going on? And what can you do to prepare for it? Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 key things that I've been focusing on for the last 6, 12, 18, 24 months that has allowed me to be in an amazing position, will continue to allow me to be in a great position through the market shift that I do believe is coming. Now, again, listen, this is not a doom and gloom video. Look, it's just facts are facts. I do believe that the market is going to go into a crazy downturn. I do believe the real estate market is slowing down. I mean, it's kind of facts are facts. You know, I don't know if you're noticing it, but there's a lot more price reductions now than ever before. There's also a lot more inventory now than there has been in the last 24 months, 18 months or so. There's been a lot of key things that have been going on in the past 30, 60, 90 days that has not been occurring over the last 2 years. It is very important to realize that you need to make some key shifts and fast, because again, the market is shifting right at underneath your feet. It is shifting right now, and if you're not going to adapt, shift, change, adjust, whatever it is, you're going to be left in the dust. So let's dive into a couple things that I recommend doing right now in a market shift. So first and foremost is going to be increasing your price points. Increasing your price points are going to allow you to survive during the shifts, because listen, you're going to sell less homes. Case in point, you're going to sell less homes in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. You're going to sell less homes than you did in the last 2 years, most likely. Most people are going to sell less houses. And if you're going to sell less houses, how are you going to survive? Again, what I've been doing since COVID, I have been working with my mentors in adjusting my price points. So again, my average price point went from $4.25, $4.50. Now it's about 1.2 to 1.5 million, right? My average commission check went from 12,000 to about 60 to 75,000 right now. So what that's allowed me to do is that I can sell a lot less property. In 2021, my team did over 100 transactions. In 2020, my team has done over 100 transactions. I know that this year in 2022, we're probably not going to sell 100 homes or more. That's why I've been making massive shifts where I can sell half the amount of properties. I can sell 50 homes this year, 50 properties, because I do a lot of commercial as well. I can sell 50 units, and I can still make 3 to 5 times as much money as I did in the previous years. Because at the end of the day, I just care about how much money I make. And I'm sure for you, if I told you you only had to sell 1 home and you could make 10 times as much money, you'd probably agree with me. It would probably be a better choice as well, right? That's what I'm here to talk about. Most importantly, adjust your price points. If you can sell a more expensive property, you will make more money in commissions, which means that you can sell less properties overall and make more money. Because I'm not here to tell you that all of a sudden you're going to go from selling 20 homes to 100 homes this year. It's probably not going to happen, because the shift, the slowdown, the economic downturn is going to inhibit that, because there's not going to be as many sales this year. There's also a lot more realtors. This is just all stated facts. Number 1, circle prospect in higher price point areas. If your average price point is 350, 400, 450, 500, start prospecting in areas of 750, 800, $1 million, $1.5 million. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to have a conversion rate in any market, in any price point. So just start prospecting in higher price point areas. You don't need to have experience to sell those types of homes. For the people who sell lots of luxury homes, there's a difference of selling a $20 million home versus a $1 million home. And if you're in areas all over the country, a $1 million house in New Jersey is going to be very different than a $1 million house in Michigan. Yes, you need to pay attention to that kind of stuff, right? So everything's within reason. However, I am just saying increase your price points. Shoot for somewhere between 25 and 50% more than what you're doing right now at a minimum. So if you're prospecting $500,000 homes, I would shoot for somewhere around $750,000 at a minimum to start prospecting next, because that's going to take your average commission at 2% from 10 to 15 grand, and that's going to increase your net income at the end of the day by quite a substantial amount of money. Make sure you're focused on increasing your price points. The other thing that you can do really quickly also is you can dive into some commercial business. I do a lot of commercial business and off-market investment deals, which is going to be something that we talk about shortly. The reason why I talk about finding great off-market investment deals is because you can dictate your income. Because number 2 is get good at finding great off-market deals. So the reason why this is so crucial is I'll give you an example. I can find an off-market single-family or multifamily property as an example. Yes, we do warehousing, industrial properties, retail office, you name it. However, the reason why I say for single families, because a lot of you are in the residential space, and I do a lot of investment deals in the residential investment space. If you were to find, this is how you also can increase your price points, because it's kind of the same thing. Because what you can do is the following. If I find a great, let's say I'll give you an example, right? I have a 2-family property that I'm selling to an investor right now. I have a 2-family property that I'm selling to an investor. I found the property. I'll give you 2 different examples. One as an investor, one as a broker. So we'll do one as an investor first, and I'll do one as a broker second. I found a 2-family property. It had 2 tenants who weren't paying. I was able to buy this property. This property is worth as is, where is, if it was vacant, $300,000 all day long. I was able to buy it. I bought the property with tenants in place who were not paying, so I had to go through an eviction process. This took me a little bit longer of a process, but what I was able to do is I bought the property for $180,000. I spent $10,000 to $15,000 getting them out between the eviction process, holding costs, and cash for keys. And then I sold the property, and now I'm under contract on the property for $305,000, and I did nothing but evict the people. That's it. We just got the property vacated, and we cleaned it up. I didn't spend any money on other than just literally a house cleaner cleaning up the property. That being said, I'm gonna make about $100,000 after all fees and everything else. I'm gonna make $100,000. And by the way, I used other people's money for the down payment and all my closing costs and everything. I raised money, 40 or 50 grand for this. So I used other people's money. After their interest is paid off and everything else, I'm probably gonna walk away with like 80 grand, okay? So I'm gonna make $80,000 on one deal that I found off market, none of my own money, and I was able to buy the deal, and I was able to sell the deal with literally doing next to no work on it. So that's how again, I can dictate my income. Now again, as a broker, I'll give you another example. I'm selling a 4-family property. You can do this with single families. It's literally the same exact thing. By the way, same thing for a single family. I'll give you another example afterwards after this 4-family of a single family deal. Selling a 4-family property right now, I'm selling the 4-family property for $825,000. However, the seller was willing to take $790,000. So I was able to dictate a $35,000 commission between me and the buyer, and the seller doesn't care because all he wanted was $790. So I went to the buyer and I said, hey, this is a great deal at $825. You know, he agreed. He made me an offer $825, and I'm making the commission of $35,000 when if I made 2% on 800, it'd be 16 grand. So I'm making 4.5%, 4 to 4.5%, because I was able to find the deal off market and I can dictate my commission. You see what I'm saying here? I can dictate the commission rates. It's like, imagine it's basically the same thing as if I was doing $1.5 million deal. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm able to increase my commission rates. I'm able to increase my price points by finding great off-market deals. Now, next point is that we're going to dive into doubling down on lead generation. If you've only been making 2 hours of phone calls recently, you need to be doing 4 to 6 hours worth of phone calls. And if you've been making an hour, you should be doing 2 to 3. If you've been doing 3 hours, you should be doing 6 to 8 hours worth of phone calls. You need to double down on prospecting because you need more leads right now than ever before, because there's going to be a lot less, the pie is getting smaller. And there's also a lot more slices or pieces of the pie that are going to have to be divvied out because there's more real estate agents in the business right now. So that being said, you need more leads. And more leads equals more business. But the most important piece of lead generation is follow-up. So point number 4 is follow-up. So I want to talk to you quickly about these 2 points. There's a lot of people right now who are doing a lot of prospecting right now. You're doing a lot of circle prospecting. You might have expired. You might be doing for sale by owners. You'll be calling cancels, withdrawals. You're probably doing calling distress sales. You might be doing open houses. Whatever you're doing, you're getting a lot of leads, and kudos to you. But the problem is a lot of realtors are not doing the follow-up. They're not doing the right actions in order to then convert that business, because less than 2% of all sales are actually converted on the very first phone call. So if you're not making the follow-up calls, you're not going to make any money. Is that making sense to you? So you need to double down on your follow-up. So I would recommend every single one of you spends at least 50% of all time spent on the phone every single day from now on needs to be spent on follow-up. So make sure you spend at least 50% of your time on follow-up. And if you have over 1,000 leads in your database, you should be spending 75% or more on follow-up and less on regular prospecting for new leads, because you're going to make a lot more money and convert more on follow-up than you are going to convert on the initial phone call. Is that making sense? Focus on the follow-up. You're going to make more money. Last but not least, point number 5 is hoard cash. I've been speaking to a lot of my very successful friends recently about what they're doing with their money, and all of them, verbatim, are saying they're sitting on more cash right now than ever before. Right now, I'm sitting in the best cash position that I've ever sat in my life. It is very important to sit on as much cash as you can. I've been, canceling a lot of trips. I've been canceling a lot of stupid expenditures. I've been not going out as much. I'm personally not doing that because I want to hoard as much cash as I possibly can. You know why? And don't get me wrong, I understand. I just went on 2 nights ago, we went on to a $1,500 dinner, right? Like, I'm still enjoying my life. But the extravagant stuff that I don't need to be going on, like that was a business dinner, the stuff I don't really care about, I'm hoarding cash. Because when the market shifts, I want to be able to buy as much property as I possibly can. I'm in negotiations right now on almost 70 units near me right now. 70 units. I'm looking at buying a lot of property right now. And as soon as this market shifts, I want to be able to buy a lot more, and I don't want to be stuck holding the bag saying, I wish I had more cash right now. I'm hoarding a bunch of cash. I'm being really smart. I'm not being really stupid with spending a lot of money on things that don't matter right now. Hoard cash. And anything that you can be doing to cancel things that are memberships, cancel Any memberships you're not actually utilizing, softwares you're not utilizing, leads that you're not making money on, cancel everything that you possibly can and hoard cash. Slowly pay down some debt, slowly pay off some credit cards, make sure you're not in a crazy bad debt position, because you want to make sure you can capitalize on the downturn. Because if you want to be rich, most wealth is created in economic downturns. In COVID, there was trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that was made in COVID and the years afterwards. Trillions of dollars. And anybody wonder why the top 1% became even wealthier? It's because, again, massive wealth is created out of downturns because they are prepared. And guess what? For those of people who are not prepared, it's going to be tough. And again, this is not a doom and gloom video. It's going to be tough. I'm giving you literally the simple things that you can be doing every single day to make sure you make it out, not only alive, but thriving. So other than that, guys, if you have any questions about anything, I answer every single comment, every single question. So make sure you put it in the comment section down below. If you want to get my script books, you can master your calls. Make sure you download that in the description down below. And listen, if you want to be coached by me and you want to take your business to the level you've never thought possible, make sure you schedule a call. That's also going to be in the description down below. Other than that, guys, I love you so very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.